What's up guys, so Randy here with AGM, and what we're doing today is we're actually going to do some long range shooting with some night vision clip-on devices. So before we do that, we're actually here in Florida at a training facility. We've got Chris here from CR2 Solutions. We need to get ourselves familiar with a lot of the guns we're using. A lot of the stuff is expensive. We kind of need to get familiar with what these things are doing when we can see before we start doing things that we can't see. So we're gonna run into that. He's gonna teach us a couple hours. We're gonna get really familiar with this stuff before we get into the nighttime.
Yeah, so we're gonna run a real quick familiarization on long range marksmanship stuff, and then we're gonna actually go into some tactics and techniques for applying those techniques, but in a long range night setting.
Perfect.
I'm Justin. I've been working here at AGM for just over a year. The majority of my shooting experience up till now has been a lot of like AR-15 stuff, and shooting with night vision has been the same, pretty short range on an AR-15. So both sides of this are pretty new to me, so excited to get some of the like basics dialed down here during the day, and then learn how to apply all of that later tonight.
I'm Wyatt with AGM Global, one of the marketing guys. I've got a little bit of background in long range 22, but this is an entirely different game. Excited to be out here.
Alright guys, so we just barely got done doing the, we'll call it the day course portion, or part of this whole thing. A lot of the guys learned a lot of things. Chris here from CR2 walked us through what you called the process, the
shot process.
Shot process.
Yep.
Just employing that myself. I mean, I've got a little bit of experience doing long range stuff. I've never taken like a class. I've never like kind of gone deep into it, but just like using those fundamentals and just trying that, drastically improved my capability there. So
yep.
I was pretty impressed. What I'm curious now, because it's dark, I'm curious because a lot of the things, parallax and a lot of the things that people are maybe familiar with, I don't really know what necessarily goes kind of out the window or what we're needing to now add to everything that we learned, because now it's dark. We're running our Comanche 40 ERs right now, and so everything's, you know, high FOM, white FOSS, and now we're trying to shoot stuff that we can't see. So I mean, with that being said, I mean, talk to me about what we're gonna do next, maybe briefly, real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we're gonna dig into the specs of the systems, you know, talk about what all their different features are and stuff like that. But the biggest thing with shooting at night is actually the techniques and the tactics and the TTPs that we're gonna use for shooting in this environment. Because, I mean, outside of the equipment itself, getting those bullets down range is the hard part, okay? Because it's not just a matter of, well, you know, do I got enough elevation to drop the bullet onto the target, but it's finding the target. It's being able to illuminate it. It's being able to, you know, use those pointers. And really, at night, sometimes it becomes a team effort. So we're gonna kind of talk about that, how to actually find, range, and engage these targets.
So I want to ask one quick question for you. I mean, just my experience, I've spent a lot more time on, I mean, I'm familiar with night vision. I mean, I've been doing this for a couple of years, but I'm a little bit more familiar, at least with when it comes to clip-on devices, with thermal, right? Yeah. So like, talk to me a little bit about like why are we doing night vision as opposed to thermal? Maybe a lot of the people in our audience don't understand. A lot of people think, well, thermal's just superior. So like, what are we doing here? Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, coming from the sniper community or the long range game, you know, that I'm from, we kind of use these two devices, you know, in a synchronous kind of way, but they have two different purposes, really. Yeah. So a lot of times what we do is we'll use thermals to find targets, but then we use our I-square devices or our standard night vision devices to actually engage those targets.
Why?
Well, because you can do two different things with those, and they both have their pros and cons, really. So now your thermals, they're gonna be able to find targets really easy because you're looking for a heat signature, right? And that's gonna pop up really quickly. And if it's hiding, if you know you're looking for an animal or whatever, even if it's hiding behind somebody, behind some brush or whatever, you're gonna be able to find that target really easily. Now the I-square becomes beneficial to actually make those engagements because If that target is behind brush, or if it is behind any kind of obscurance, you're going to be able to detect that with this device.
Yeah, actually, I've never thought about that. I mean, you'll often see, we're out doing hog hunting or whatever, coyote hunting. I mean, you could be looking through a bunch of brush, light grass or whatever, which maybe no big deal when it comes to like, hey, there they are, finding stuff. But when we're talking about shooting stuff really far, you might not know something's in the way, basically. You
absolutely.
Might be needing to shoot through a bush that you weren't aware of or whatever. So, okay, cool. Well, I'm excited, guys. We're gonna spend the next little portion here getting the team more familiar with clip-on night vision, and I'm excited. So let's get into it. Awesome.
All right, so first things first, definitely need more time doing this. This is such a different experience from obviously just using like night vision goggles, and way different from thermal, which is like the majority of my experience so far. But pound for pound, this is a really interesting and fun, engaging way to shoot. I like that it's interactive. I like that it's kind of a team sport, and I like that. I really like that all the principles that we learned during the day, everything just transitions right over to doing this at night.
The stay overall was pretty darn great. It's like long range night vision shooting is kind of hard to explain to somebody who's never done it before. The best way to really get an idea of how mind-boggling this stuff is just to get behind it and get the chance to either demo it or try it out. The idea of the buddy system and someone helping illuminate or point out the target is really cool. Great to like learn those communication skills, and having your teammate help you out is a great experience, great skill to learn.
All right, guys, so we're just wrapping up here. We did a lot of night vision shooting. I just want to give you some of our thoughts, and we were just talking about it a little bit. I just wanted to make a few points. I mean, I'm pretty new to the long range precision kind of enthusiastic side of shooting. There's a lot of different things people can get into. The shooting industry, the shooting sports kind of world, there's a lot of different kind of niches, little spots. You know, you got guys that are kind of about different things. I just wanted to make the point. I mean, we're running our night vision clip-on. I mean, they're not like I guess what I'm trying to say is this stuff isn't necessarily cheap, right? And the point I'm making is that when you're using the appropriate equipment, right? You've got high quality optics, high quality tools here. Someone like me who has very limited experience, right, could actually start engaging targets at various distances in the dark, complete darkness, with a little bit of guidance, a little bit of help from training and whatnot, practicing some fundamentals. What I'm getting at is it's surprisingly easy for you guys that might think this is overwhelming, this is really nervous, but there is a lot to learn. There's a lot of equipment I'm not going to even get into here when you're talking about illuminating targets, laser rangefinders, and ballistic calculation devices that are going to like help you out. But having said all that, when you have the appropriate tools, I mean, I was struggling day one when I wasn't using something quite as nice as this setup here, and it makes a big difference. So I just wanted to kind of provide that feedback. Maybe you had something to add as well.
Yeah, just to speak to that point, I mean, this setup here, for anyone who knows what's on this gun, this is like on the extreme end of the spectrum. This is a very, very, this is very expensive, very like high quality, very like well-equipped setup. But over the course of yesterday and today, I think I shot on 4 or 5 different setups, different guns, 3 different calibers. For most of today, I was shooting on the 5.56 gun, which obviously is not as equipped.
A Q minifix or something.
Yeah, Q minifix, which
was doing great.
Yeah, it was doing great, but obviously not as equipped to like reach out as far as easily, right? But on 4 or 5 different setups with
different optics and different just different tools all around, you can invest some money, a little. It's not cheap, like you said, but you can invest in some quality optics and quality equipment, and the more set up you are, the more work all this is going to be able to do for you once you put a little bit of time behind it.
Yeah, and add to that a little bit. If you know what you're doing, you don't quite need all this. Chris, real quick, you were engaging out to 900 yards, right?
Yes.
And you were just using an AR?
16-inch 5.56 AR.
16-inch 5.56 AR. We're over here, struggling, trying to hit stuff kind of closer, and then we hear the steel ring out there, and he's like, woohoo! He's 900 yards using 5.56. So like when you know what you're doing, you don't need to spend a whole bunch of money, but having the right tools for the job definitely makes the job a lot easier.
And then a little bit of good real coaching.
Yeah.
Because that was also the huge difference maker throughout the day-to-day. So get someone like Chris help you know the best tools to use and how to use them, and you can start having a good time pretty quick.
Yeah. So clip-on night vision, guys. Make sure we're probably going to do a little bit more content about this kind of shooting. We'll probably do a little bit more videos focusing on the Comanche 40. We also have the Comanche 22. Clip-on night vision systems. It is something that we offer. We'll probably provide a little bit more content about that. I'm a fan. I thought it was a blast. And continue watching our stuff. If you guys have any questions, comments, make sure you leave them below. We'll see you guys next time.